everyone. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we discuss everything relationship. I'm your host, Franca. On today's episode, we'll be talking about navigating relationship. We're talking about navigating relationship. Are we saying that people can fall fast or fall smart? With me discussing this today is Lilian Alidu, who is a mental health counselor and also a married and relationship counselor. And I also have Tomi Akinbobola, who works with Nigerian Bottling Company as a national key counselor, national key account manager. So please note that you can share your story with us on our WhatsApp line 081 9038 4663, or join us live on this conversation. You can call us at 070 2500 7749 or 070
Stay tuned. Heartlines will be right back.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future,
Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Welcome back. Tommy, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at you now.
You should be looking at me. Hello, Lilian, can you hear me?
And
Lilian, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay. How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Franca.
Okay. How
It's
is the
nice to be
weather-
here.
How is the weather in Benin Republic?
So far, so good.
Not bad. Tommy, you should be looking at me. Why are you looking at my fine guest? How are you, Tommy?
Well, I'm okay. And you?
Okay. I'm good. We're just so many things. But I'm very interested with this topic, and I think that it's something that you want people who are not married, people who are married, everybody, in fact, is something that I feel that everybody wants to be part of. Everybody needs to hear what we have to say today. So, Lilian, I'm going to start with you. Can you hear me, Lilian?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
So I'm going to start with you. What do you think about navigating early love?
Okay. So just like the topic said, we have the fast falling and the falling smart. So I would say that both are not necessarily wrong. We just have like some dynamics that goes with it. So I would say that it's best to fall smart. That's what I would say. It's best to fall smart. And I will still talk about the pros and cons that have to do with falling fast and falling smart. But for you to be able to navigate your maybe relationship or starting a new love life, I think it's better you fall smart. It's better. With time, I'll talk about the pros and cons on both of them.
Okay, so but do you think that as at the time when you're in love, you're thinking, the first thing that comes to you when you see somebody like where I like this Tomi now.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Lilian? Hello, Lilian, can you hear me? Okay, so like the way I like you now, this Tomi, you understand? You think that if I see you and I'm attracted to you, I'm looking at all this your muscle that is just doing like this. Will I So do you think that when you do all these things for me, my brain will connect? So, do you think when you do all this, I'll be thinking with my head? I'll just be attracted to what you're doing. I'm not going to be thinking, oh, is Tomi going to do this? Is Tomi? I won't be thinking about all that. And then it's early relation. Okay, I don't want to put age into it, but what do you think happens initially when you start a relationship? At that initial point where you're in love.
So, for me, it's two things.
Okay.
Humanly possible. You're not in control of how you fall in love.
Okay.
Sometimes you're not in control of who you fall in love.
Okay.
That's why, some people say there's love at first sight. Some people believe in love at first sight, while some people don't believe in love at first sight.
Okay.
Now, in the love at first sight, I can say that's falling hard.
Okay.
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 Now, for falling smart, falling in love smartly is identifying or, seeing someone you probably have developed feelings for. Okay. And then you take a step further to get to know who this person is. Okay. What does this person do? Where is he from? What kind of a family is he from? Because really all these things, define who this person is. Okay? Now, say for instance, let me use myself for an example. My wife gave me a chance because she saw that I came from a home that is more of a family, where we all try to come together, do things together, check up on everybody. Is everybody okay? Not that everybody's doing their stuffs in a different, whatever, you understand? So that was a pull for her to me. Now, if you say you want to fall in love with someone because you are in love with that person without trying to, see what that person is all about, I won't call a girl who falls in love with me because she knows I have money. Okay? I won't call her a gold digger. Everybody's trying to, create a positive and bright future for everyone. So, come on. I think personally, I would say it's better to fall in love smartly than fall in love hard.
Okay. The question is, not every relationship will lead to marriage.
True.
So are you saying for every relationship you need to have or you need to be in, you need to think smart, you need to fall smartly?
First of all, what is love?
I didn't say love. For every relationship that you get yourself involved in, you should always be smart.
Yes, you have to be smart too.
Even for we just did.
See, apart from the reality of things today in the world, one is to be smart. We see what's going on. In Nigeria today, how people get killed because they are dating one person or the other. Would we say those ladies that got killed? I'm sure you saw some stories on Instagram where some young boys killed girls because of ritual purposes, would we say those girls were not smart?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Would we say they were not smart? Because if you look at it, some of these guys didn't even have so much, so to speak.
Okay.
But of course, I want to believe they were in love with them. But some of them still got killed by these guys.
So you're saying, what are you saying?
So what I'm simply saying is, I want to put myself in the middle.
Okay, so you want a bit of love?
Yes.
And you want a bit of smartness?
Exactly.
That's what you're saying?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you.
Okay.
Lilian. Hello, Lilian.
I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay. So, Lilian, I'm going to ask, so for you as a lady, at what point do you think you need to bring in smartness into your relationship? From the onset, or when you think you're about to get married, or you think it's going serious? At what time do you bring this? Or you tend to be smart, or one should be smart? At what time? At what point in your relationship?
I would say from the beginning.
Okay.
I would say from the beginning.
Okay.
This topic is interesting, but it's complex.
Yeah.
You know, when you just find somebody and your emotions are driving you, it's interesting. And if you don't think smart, you will just go with your emotions, you will go with your feelings. Mm-hmm. But falling smart from the onset helps you to take some conscious steps. Okay. Get to know this person first. I believe the aim of dating is to get married to the person. So if you meet somebody and you feel something for that person, I think that's where you should start thinking smart and be logical.
Okay.
Does our values, our goals, do they align? Mm-hmm. Do I see myself being with this person in the long term? And then I will talk about social media. There are some people that when you go through their social media, you'll be amazed at the things that they post. Their ideology about their partners or marriage is crazy. So I think it's best to start thinking smart from the beginning, get to know this person and be intentional about it. So that way, even when you fall later, you know that, okay, I can be vulnerable with this person. So from the onset, I think I would choose falling smart.
Okay. So I want to ask, I'm going to come to you, but Lilian, I have seen situations where women think they've done all the due diligence and with questioning and all, and they get married, and then they take a decision to sacrifice their dream to keep the home. So maybe the man is working, the kids are in school. For every family, one person needs to be the one that will make the sacrifice. One person goes out to work. For maybe 60% was saying, oh, we can't trust our kids with the nannies. We can't trust our kids with just someone else, So why don't you do something that doesn't require you being out all day? I go out, I come back, but we're sure that if you have to go somewhere, you're back, when the kids are back from school. So my question is, Lilian, I have seen women just put their dreams and everything they've dreamt to do in a box, just so the family would move forward. So just so that every other person in the family is happy. And then by the time the kids are grown, the husband has grown so well, the woman now begins to feel depressed. She begins to feel used. She begins to feel that, she gave everything for the family and they don't appreciate it. So Lilian, would you say that that particular person or lady wasn't smart?
Okay, I would say that that depends.
Okay.
Because we have unforeseen circumstances where some men can tell you, just live this career life and be a full-time housewife, and I promise I'll take care of you. You will not lack. Some men will see through with this, but not everybody. So I wouldn't say they are not smart, because people change. I can't say it's good or bad. People change, but I've never been an advocate for women to let go of their dreams and just be full-time housewives. Because even if the man doesn't disappoint you at the end of the day, just like what she said, you can feel worthless. You can feel used. You can feel like I'm not doing enough. So I would still advocate for every woman, have something that you're doing. You might be at home, you be doing online business, but just do something that makes you feel useful for you, even if your husband has so much that he can provide for yourself and the kids, but just do things. And for people that at the end of the day, they live their career, they live their lives, and they get to that point that they feel worthless, I would say sometimes it might not be the man's fault, and sometimes it might be the man's fault. Sometimes it's just them, because human, we are insatiable. So for that kind of woman, she might have seen her colleagues doing well, and she might be thinking, if I had continued with my career by now, I should have been in this level or that level. So it's a personal thing. But the other hand is when the man disappoints the woman, like when there is like a marital problem, and she finds out that she has nothing, like she doesn't have anywhere to go to, she has no money to her name. So yeah, that part, I can't say the woman wasn't smart. Some people, they are well calculated, but life happens to people. Okay. So it works both ways. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Tomi, I'm going to get a bit personal with you. I know what you do and your positioning when it comes to your family. And I know that you're involved in every single thing that your wife does. In fact, I know that you push her. You say, you know what? Fly. I'm here. That's what you do.
Fly than me.
Fly higher than me. I see you do that all the time. And I'm like, how does Tomi do it? Because I know Tomi is a very jealous person. I know
you can't be married to who I'm married to and not feel jealous of
woo! Okay, I agree. But Tomi, so I have seen you do so much. I have seen you do so much for your wife, and I have seen you act like a jealous man. I have seen you play several roles, like you're always involved in anything. Sometimes I think you do that because you're a jealous man. You want to see what's happening when you're not there.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
So, but tell me, how does it feel? Like, your wife is doing so well, amazingly well. And she gets to do, she's everywhere. And then I get that you're with her, but it's not you. Behind the scene, they know there's a Tomi. But the first thing they see is Moji. So how do you navigate around all that? How does it make you feel? Because I know that for some men, they begin to feel very uncomfortable. They now start feeling like, oh, she's everywhere. Their confidence is low. So many things. But for you, how do you handle that?
Well, I think it's a personal decision.
Okay.
Let me take us back a bit into
how we
started. So my wife used to be, she's a petroleum engineer by profession. And of course, you already mentioned what I do. So basically, we saw ourselves as friends, not really as husband and wife. So it was easy to work together to make things work. In our course of our life, I noticed that my wife had interest in business. She's always thinking of how to generate funds. And of course, she was working, So I'm like, babe, I've seen what you do, and I know you have passion for the hair business. Why not go ahead and focus on this rather than going to 8 to 5 in the morning? You have to go through traffic, put all that energy in someone's business. Why not put it in your business? I'll start it up for you. She said, are you sure? But I said, go ahead. I didn't have the money then, but I looked for the first rent because we were looking for a space for her at the time, and we didn't get. But fortunately for us, our former landlord told us there's now a space, we should pay for it. I borrowed the money for the first rent. See, come on, go for it. And we started in a small space there in Bagada, and before you know it, I could see the reality of things coming to play, and of course from there she moved to, of course, Lekki on the island. Now, back to the question you said, how have I been able to manage where she is now? Okay, for me, I was the one who motivated her to quit her job and take this opportunity for yourself. Now my wife is doing so well with Mo Beauty Bar, and for me it's like the feeling I get from it is like, is it joy or is it a sense of achievement? This is my wife. She owns this. She's done this. I mean, I have a strong. even when all my friends they know, if they Okomoji, yes. You understand? Let me get up. You know
that feeling, yes.
So I don't feel. My wife makes a lot of money than I do.
I know.
She's richer than I am.
I know.
But of course, she's my wife.
Yeah, she's your wife.
They'll say your money now your wife money.
But this one, your wife money now your money.
I bet the house get the money together. You know, so oftentimes even on Instagram I try to post for her. You know, I try to get myself involved in everything. So I never for once see it as it's my wife's something. I see it as it's a us something.
Hey us.
Yes, that means that's the word. That's what I choose to use. You know.
Okay.
It's emoji and Tomi. You know, so but I try to allow her to make decisions herself.
Okay.
Do things, you know. Whenever I think I need to come in and give her advice, I try to. Because the end goal is let my wife be happy.
Also, you do everything for her to be happy.
100%. Let my wife.
It has nothing to do
with
you.
No. It has a bit to do with me, no doubt. And okay, what does it have to do with me now? No. Of course she has to be happy.
Yeah.
But for me it's pride. I'm an Akinbobola from Ondo State. I'm a proud man.
A proud man.
So for me it's, you know, seeing my wife is doing so well gives me some sort of joy, some sort of achievement. I mean, my wife has been able to come this far in the space of how many years we gotten married, you know. So I try to let her fly. And I don't want for once forever in her life to have to have regrets that
because of Tomi, I couldn't
you know,
she
could have done this. But I allow her to make mistakes, come back, learn from that mistake. I give you my advice, and you continue moving. You know, and my wife is, you know, she's so independent that sometimes I forget I'm supposed to even do certain things and ask her, come babe, do you need help? You know, sometimes she don't have to come back to me and tell me, guy, don't forget to say everyone.
She's always telling you.
I know.
You know.
I know, but
you know.
But you know, in the long run, it gives me joy that she's doing what she loves to do. Okay. And in the course of, so you mentioned something when you were talking to Lilian the other time. When if a man is able to do everything for a woman and she has to stay back, and eventually maybe in the long run something goes wrong and the man maybe pulls back and then she feels she's all alone. It's relative. Now, a man who loves his wife would not for any reason leave her hanging, especially if she's the mother of your kids. Well, from my own school of thought and for the man who raised me, that's the way we're trained. So I don't want to believe a man will leave his wife because...
No, he's not leaving the wife. Let me tell you how it works. I've seen people experience these things. You see that your husband is so nice, you're training the kids and all that. And then 12, 15 years down the line, he's telling you, what value do you add to my life? He's telling you, what do you do for me? Your kids, because your kids are grown, he doesn't need you, and then you're redundant because you're at home. You're not doing anything. Not like he's leaving you. And then they tell you, oh, I said it because I was angry. Or, you know, things like that. Forgetting that the person you're speaking to also has feelings. And the truth is, when you say it, she begins to think that really, what value does she add? Because for her, what she brought to the table was taking care of the children. Building a home.
But guess what? That's a lot of value.
But guess what? The children don't grow finish now, so it's no longer value.
The children remember these things.
Oh, the children will remember, but they are not at home.
True. But like I said again, a man who has common sense will know that it takes a lot to bring up children. Let me use myself as an example. My father was not really around. He was in the States. You know, my mom was the one who was with us growing up. My dad told my mom to leave her job because she used to be in the ministry. I know sometimes I heard my mom say, by now I've been a director or number 4,
those kind of things. Those
15,
those kind of things.
But still, the joy in her seeing us where we are today makes her happy. At least, well, our children didn't go astray, didn't become something they shouldn't be because she was there. But let's assume she had gone to, do whatever job she wanted to do and left us with nanny to take care of us. I mean, come on. We could have become something else. So, whilst I understand that a woman might want to feel dejected or feel or have a sense of regrets that she could have been something else, I want her to have that sense of joy that these kids are brought up have my achievements. That way, I want to believe it to give her some sense of motivation and happiness. And sometimes it's also always okay for a woman or a wife to speak to her husband when she feels otherwise. Sometimes men say things out of anger without really meaning them, like you said earlier. So yeah, some men who don't like to raise their hands on women, but the best way they can relate, they can express their anger is maybe being abusive or speak to things that they know will hurt the wife. And that's why I say communication is very key and important in a relationship. Once there's a communication gap, it creates barriers.
True.
And once there are barriers, it creates some sense of unsorted issues. And when you have unsorted issues, it creates some sense of resentment. And when the resentment keeps piling up, it creates a distance and void. So I think the best solution there is, if she feels otherwise or feels bad, she should speak to her husband. I mean, come on. I've been here. I've taken care of the kids. I mean, just speak to him and let him understand our home point of view. But generally not to bore us. I just feel there should be a constant communication, and a woman should not feel less of herself because she left her job or whatever. Because in the first place, it was an agreement between two of them.
Don't talk too much. You want to try? You want to pop the right?
Talk too much.
You don't talk. I see you the way you look. The way I say, I'm not going to open this bottle.
I never start.
So Lilian, let's go on a quick break and then we'll come back. Yes.
Tuned. Heartlines would be right back.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we'll connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking.
It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future. Yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Welcome back. We're still having the same conversation, navigating early love. Should people fall in love smartly or fast? Before we went on show, Tomi was telling us how much he had encouraged his wife and all. But Tomi, before I go to Lilian, would you have married someone who didn't have the energy your wife had?
Good question. So, if I want to look back into the other girls I dated, I believe I would.
Muji's watching.
Yeah, And she knows about my past life. I don't think I would have married someone who didn't have
the drive
and energy. I mean, come on, that's the woman I'm married to her.
Okay.
Because even before marrying her, I saw the entrepreneur skill she had. I saw the drive, the motivation towards being a great person, towards becoming someone of importance.
So my question is, I want to believe because you saw that in her, you encouraged her.
Yes, because I saw that in her, but I didn't know that was what she was when I first saw her.
Okay.
I fell in love.
Okay. At first sight.
Hard. No, this is a very good example.
No, Tomi, what I'm trying to say is, now, if the person you fell in love with didn't have that drive Muji had, would you just encourage her to stay at home? There are women like that. So they are trophy wives.
True. If I didn't marry, I would have just been for what she wanted anyway. Really, in the long run. My wife now wanted to have this.
That's what I'm saying.
So
it wasn't about you.
No, not about me.
It wasn't about you.
Yes, about what she wanted.
It was about what she wanted.
Yes.
So if the wife you were going to marry at that time didn't have any interest in these things, just wanted you to go to work and come back, would you have been comfortable with that?
No, I would not have been comfortable with that.
That means you wouldn't have married her.
I wouldn't have married her.
Why wouldn't you be comfortable with that? That's the question.
In this Nigeria where we did today. Now me gonna carry the word for my head.
See, don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me here, please. Don't make me laugh.
Okay. On a more
serious note. So, oh God, I knew you were going to be. Oh my God. So for this Nigeria where we did now, so you enter the marriage with your eye. So you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. She may God just the guide us. Because if you look at some marriages today, where are they today? And this is because some people married for the wrong reasons. Some people married out of peer pressure. Some people married because they fell hard without being smart, like what Lilian said. Yes, it's okay to fall in love hard, but whilst at it, be smart in it. And what makes you smart is learning to understand who this person is. Does this person's goals align with your goal? This person's cultural value, does it align with your cultural value? His ethics, does it align with your ethics? Things like that will now, make you know if this is the person you want to eventually stay with. Now that's being smart. But say you fall in love hard, you're not going to reason all this matter.
And Nigeria can't
happen. Nigeria can't happen. Nobody will tell you. So I think it's falling smart is better.
Okay.
It's okay to fall hard.
Okay.
But after falling hard, be smart about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Lilian, as a counselor, what would you say about the situation, and how would you navigate it if you had clients come to you to say, oh, I love this person, but he or she doesn't have the qualities I'm looking for?
Okay. So before I answer that, from what Tomi said, it's obvious that he felt smart. From all he has said this evening, it's obvious he felt smart.
I felt hard.
My own.
He felt hard. He felt smart before he felt hard. I agree with you, Lilian.
For real?
Yes.
I felt hard. Because I didn't know who my wife was. I felt hard. I didn't know she was. Guess what?
No, Tomi, you knew what you wanted from day one.
But I didn't know what she was doing.
But you knew what you wanted. She was already an engineer. So that one.
I never knew any of this. I met my wife on Instagram. Let me bust your head.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about her. I just saw a pretty girl popped up on my page. I'm like, who's the pretty girl? And I tried chasing her, and then she's like,
then she was just going to be your girlfriend.
No, I knew she was my wife.
In the process, it had to be logical.
Yes.
So when you saw her, you liked her. She's beautiful.
No. Lilian, he said
you had to be logical.
No, Lilian, do you know what he's saying? He's saying that he saw her and knew she was going to be his wife.
Yes.
On the first day.
Yes.
You are lying because you're on camera.
No.
She told me you are lying.
Franca, even she knows that. I've told her this was the case. I saw a picture.
Oh, paro
now. I saw a picture. I said, now why be this? I'll tell you for free. I knew this was my wife. But I chased her for 2 years without seeing her.
I believe.
So, hold on, Lilian, listen to me. I chased this woman for 2 years without seeing her. She didn't give me a chance to take her out for 2 years. I mean, come on, other man will have moved on. Now say everything. Now she be only fine woman with it. But I knew she was my wife.
Okay, I want to say something. Tomi.
We agree with you.
I had the conviction that was my wife.
Spiritual conviction.
We're friends.
Come again.
I believe you got to know her. You got to find out that her values aligned with yours.
Yes, eventually, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so you didn't just fall hard. You fell smart at the same time. Because when you were getting to know her, you got to know her core values and you've envisioned yourself in the next 5 years, 10 years, and you could tell yourself that this person fits in my dreams and my vision. So you fell hard and you fell smart at the same time.
Okay, no, but Lilian, see what he said, that he chased her for 2 years without seeing her because he knew that she was going to be his wife. So that means he was already loving her. Even while he was chasing her, he already loved her. That's not what you're saying.
But of course, I had to still date her
Baba
to know who she was.
Baba Oniro.
Farah said.
Tomi, you're lying, Jare.
For goodness sake, man.
So Lilian, so what we're saying is, so as a counselor, how would you navigate this? Because I know there are a lot of people out there that it's a problem for them. They are trying to. I know someone who told me a story, and she got married. She didn't know what she was getting into, in all honesty. And now she's regretting already, but she's married.
What's she regretting about?
It's not what she thought it was.
Okay.
So Lilian, as a counselor, tell me what you would advise anybody to do before getting married, falling in love, and identifying what they actually want.
Okay. So before they get married, once they see somebody that they like and they want to be with, I don't think it's wise to fall fast. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not wise because once you fall for that person so fast, you tend to ignore the red flags. You tend to ignore things that you should pay attention to from the beginning. Just like I was saying to Tomi, he saw the values in her and he said, this is the kind of person I would want to be with. But there are so many things that are surrounding people getting married. Let me mention that there are things that will make you say, I just want to get married. But it's not wise for anybody to jump into marriage without weighing their options because it's a lifetime journey and nobody wants to go into that kind of journey without having it planned out. We're not so certain about the end, but from the beginning you can make some corrections. So falling in love with somebody so fast where you don't know their thinking process, you don't know things that upset them, you don't even know their anger management. If there are people that can actually get angry and say that, okay, because I love you, I wouldn't do this. There are men that beat their wife. They didn't start beating the wife from relationships. Some actually start happening in the marriage. Why some happen in the relationship? But I would say that you have to take your time. You have to be logical. Be it the man or the woman. You have to be intentional. Let me get to know this person. Let me know what I'm getting into. It's better to have a broken relationship than a broken marriage.
Yeah.
So now coming to people that are already in that kind of marriage. You're in the marriage where you say that this is not what I planned for. This is not what I thought marriage was going to be. This is not a partner I would want to end with. I would say seek professional help. Talk to a counselor. Both parties should talk to a counselor. I'm not saying that the husband might be necessarily bad. It might be that people have their deal breakers. Some women will say, I don't like men that snore. Some women will say, I don't like men that don't bathe at night.
Okay. Oh, is that a problem to not bathing at night?
And this can actually break a home. So I would say that both parties should seek professional help, see a counselor, see a therapist, and see how you can work through this. Now it has to be a conscious effort for both parties to make it work. Except there's violence. That's when we can say both parties can be separated for a short period until that can be resolved. If it cannot be resolved, then divorce. But aside that, no, I wouldn't say they should go their separate ways, seek professional help, and see if it's something your husband or your wife is willing to through. And I feel once they seek professional help, it helps them. It helps the man understand the woman better. It helps the woman understand the man better. And let's not forget, a woman's love language is different from a man's love language. So it might be that what she's seen as a problem, the man is not understanding it. So I would still suggest they see a counselor or a therapist that can talk them through this process to help the man get to the woman's level of thinking, and help the woman as well get to the man's level of thinking. Yeah.
Okay. But sometimes people don't. Okay, so when you marry, it's a church counselors that they take you. So a lot of people don't have the opportunity of seeking professional counseling, and then you find out that they're in relationships that they don't even understand. And let's be honest, a lot of people in my time used to get married at 20-something. You don't know anything. Now people get married at 30, in their 30s, they're all matured and know what they're getting into. So is there hope for that person, that lady who feels she's not useful anymore? Is there hope for that person who is in a relationship and is not feeling fulfilled? Is there something that they can do? Lilian, this is for you. Is there something that they can do, or she can do, or he can do? Because honestly, this thing is both ways, not just the ladies. Sometimes the women are the breadwinners in the house and the men do not feel fulfilled. It happens both ways, in all honesty. So, Lilian, what would you say is a solution to this problem? Because I know a lot of men, they say it's mid-crisis sometimes, but I know it's not that. Sometimes they just feel unfulfilled. They feel, the things I would have loved to achieve, I've not been able to achieve them. Yeah. My spouse is not supporting me. My children don't see me the way I want them to see me. My husband doesn't have respect for me. And then some people are unhappy and they don't know they're unhappy. It happens. So Lilian, what would you say to those set of people?
Okay. I'll say they have to work on themselves. First, like I said earlier, they have to seek professional help for them to see life differently. But if a woman or a man feels like they are useless, or they are home, they are worthless, they are not doing enough, they're not being useful to themselves, I think the change has to start with them, and it has to start from the mindset. So if it's someone that has left their career for a period of time, and maybe that's why, because there are so many factors that might be affecting people that makes them start thinking like this. They need to start thinking, what can I do now that would help me come out of this situation? If it's for me to get busy, what can I do? And if they have to seek permission from their partner, they should have an open conversation about it. If it's the wife, talk to your husband. I'm not feeling good in this phase of my life. I feel like I'm not useful to myself, or I feel like this mommy duty, this wife duty is beclouding me, and like I'm missing, I'm not enjoying myself, I'm not happy, I'm not truly happy. They should have open communication about this. Let the man or let the woman know where you stand and how you feel and why you need help. And if it's for you to, they might not actually want to start working. There's some people that would want to be a full-time housewife. They love it. They want to take care of their kids and their husband. That's if the man accepts. But they have to start engaging themselves. That's they have to change their thinking process as well. If it's for them to read books. So if I have this kind of clients, I'm going to first of all find out the things they love doing.
Okay, so I got
that. So I don't have to impose. I need to know what you like doing, what makes you happy.
Okay, so I got a letter that I need to I need to read so that you guys would give me your opinions about this. Dear Franca, I hope you're well. I have been captivated by your show and how deeply you explore love and relationships. So I wanted to reach out for some guidance. I recently met someone and I have fallen hard for him. But my feelings are so intense, I am struggling to think clearly about whether he's truly the right person to help me achieve my life aspirations. She's in love, but is not sure the guy is the person to help her achieve her life aspirations. How would you advise balancing these powerful emotions with a clear-headed approach to what I need long-term? Any perspective you would share would be helpful as I consider my next step. That's your scenario now. You fell hard. Started looking for...
It's different from mine because now she's falling hard.
Yeah, she's falling hard.
However, she doesn't see him as someone who
she's
would
not
take...
sure. She doesn't see him. She's not sure if he would help her achieve her life aspirations.
So for me, I think there needs to be a conversation.
But see, honestly, nobody knows the future.
Exactly. But to some extent, you can have a conversation and hear his view towards life.
So I think that, I might be wrong. Lilian, please tell me if I'm wrong. I think everybody has boxes that people need to tick. So we are going about this thing in a way that we're forgetting to analyze how we as humans think generally. The first thing that comes to your head or mind when you meet someone is, does he tick my boxes? Those are the first thing you get to think about. And then when he ticks your boxes, you're saying, which of these things can I tolerate? Because everybody has their good sides and have their bad sides. So you're saying, which of his bad sides can I tolerate? What are his excesses that can I not tolerate? So if the good ones are higher than the bad ones, you're saying, okay, it's something. Do you understand? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Before you begin to see, oh, my dreams, because really, nobody really knows what's going to happen the next day. And trust me, Lilian said something that people change. You could see every good quality, everything in this guy. And trust me, 5 years down the line, he's completely the opposite person. You start asking yourself, is this the person I married? Where did this person come from? Life happened. Life happened. So the truth is, I would say people should own 80% of their life. You shouldn't be dependent on anybody. Whatever you do, nothing you do should be dependent on somebody. I understand if you want to make sacrifices, but you need to own up to, you need to take responsibility for that. So I tell people, it might sound really harsh, but if you chose to be a stay-at-home mom, if you chose to build a home over your career, please own up, own it. Don't say, oh, don't blame people for, you took that, nobody put a gun to your head to say, oh, you must be, even if they manipulated you, they gaslighted you, you decided on your own. So the best way to heal is, you know what, own it. I took this decision myself, so I should deal with it the best way I can. The minute you begin to hold people responsible for the decisions you took, you will never get to the point of self-awareness that you need. That's how I say it. And in all honesty, it's only when people begin to lie to themselves, they claim they don't know what they want. Everybody knows what they want. They just need validation. Everybody knows what they want. But people just need validation from someone else to say, okay, this person said, you already know what you want. Yeah, sure, why not?
So she said that
she's falling hard,
but she doesn't see him as someone who
she's not sure.
Okay, she's not sure if this guy will be able to take her.
Yeah, so she wants us to suggest an approach for her to handle this.
But like you said, she needs to have a box.
A clear vision.
Exactly. Because you can't come to me and tell me you don't see this guy as someone who...
Because the person you're actually talking about also has his visions.
Exactly. You need to have a box. I mean, she needs to have a box that she's going to take. Doesn't mean this like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she has to weigh the options from both angles.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in her favor?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it less? Now, is it in her favor? Good. Not in her favor? You love him. Conversation. Now, what are these things that you've seen that are not in your favor? Are this something that can be, worked upon to suit your favor? Now, if there are something that can be worked upon to suit your favor, fine, then she can move on. But if these are stuff that obviously, cannot work in her favor and cannot be worked upon, why force it? Like Lilian said earlier, a broken boyfriend and girlfriend relationship is better than a broken marriage. That will eventually even, by extension, affect the kids.
Yes, well, that's a lot of things that affect children, and a lot of parents don't know that the way they interact as parents, what they do in front of their kids, affects them eventually. Because those kids see those things happen, and
they mirror everything we do. And kids, they have very small capacity to understand what they see. They think it's okay, and before you know, it becomes a part and parcel.
Okay, so we are running out of time. Lilian, what are your final thoughts, please?
Some person just said, I have like 2 or 3 steps I think she can take. First thing is for her to listen to her instincts. She needs to understand why she's feeling how she's feeling. Is it that she's feeling anxious, or she's just like too excited that she's in love? So she should listen to her instincts and take maybe a step backwards if she's just anxious. Then she should get to know him. Get to know. I know it's crazy when you're falling hard for somebody. No advice they give you can work. Maybe he enters there and goes out from here. But just get to know him. Look out for the green and the red flags. You need to. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
So you need to look out for the green and the red flags. Also, if you have more of the green flags, green lights, then be patient with the patients. It might be that to be true. So when someone is bombarding with that kind of love, some part of you is scared. What if this ends? What if? So you need to understand what you're actually feeling. Then try and enjoy the process for the now, but be open to know him. And that's why we said about falling smart. So you've already fallen hard. It's not bad. Now think smart. Ask yourself questions.
Thank you.
Does this person values align with mine?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tomi, final thoughts.
Just to correct a notion I made earlier. If you are able to fall in love with someone who is going to take care of you and have you stay at home, all well and good. It's still based on conversation. Now, bringing it back to the lady who's seeking for validation. We've said it.
For advice.
Get a box.
Tick all your boxes.
Does it come towards your side, or is leaning towards the negative side? If it's coming towards your side, fine. If it's the negative side, is it something you can manage? Is it something that can be worked upon? Or is it something that you think might affect in the long run? Now, if you think it's going to affect in the long run and it's not something you can, work upon, it's always okay to walk away. Rather than face a series of regrets and emotions in the long run. So for me, they say love don't cost a thing, but
it costs a lot.
You gotta be wise, man. You gotta be wise.
Thank you for joining us today. Please know that you can send your messages to us on our WhatsApp number 081-8038-4663, or you can send us an email at counsel@vodaconsult.com. Please send your messages and follow us on all our social media platforms, YouTube at officialupgrade.com. Thank you very much. Ciao.